tutorial, kind of. Anyway, we'll build a simple title that changes, and we'll keep it really simple. Or I won't keep it too much, but really basic. But hopefully it's helpful. Anyway, blank scene, as you can see, nothing in it. Go to our toolbox, and we need an axis, and we're gonna need some text. So let's go to text, and we're gonna drag our 3D text. I'm going to choose block text. Now a few options on the text itself. So if you click here and go to your properties, I want to set the alignment to text alignment to center, the line alignment to center as well. So I'm going to center the text. Okay, so over here I want to put in a multi-switch, so I want a list that we can like change these titles to, which makes it easier. You can do it other ways, template it, director as well, or an Excel sheet, array, whatever you want. There's so many ways of getting data. I'm just going to do this really simple. So let's use a multi-switch. Just drag that in the logic tab, multi-switch, and sorry, your orders be packaged. That's great. Okay, anyway. And we're going to go to add outputs. We want a string because our title is going to be string. Now if you want to do numbers, you can. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to use a string, and now you can choose how many. So right now we've got 0, 2, and we want more. So 4, let's say 5. Let's 5, and then you can put in what you want. You know, title goes. So these will be our, like, you know, what our messages we want to show or display on this screen. So maybe it could be hello world. Right. Subscribe. There we go. Subscribe. I spelled it wrong. Subscribe. You understand. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Helps me. Anyway, so we've got this multi-switch, and we want to read this, correct? So we're just gonna take our text, put off, and connect it to our switch, and I'm gonna say output here. So now if I change the index, you see we're scrolling through this. Now I want to loop through this. So we're going to need a counter. Take the counter. I'm going to connect this to our switch. So I'll take the index and then get to the counter. Now we know how many we've got in here. So we've got count here of 0 to 4, which is 5. And you can see here number of inputs, the input count. So what you can do is take the counter, take the end, and link it to the input count. Oh, so bind failed. So with the bind failed, we can just use the loop node. So the loop breaker, just use that. Just need to do that. And we're gonna, so like I said, take the end count. That goes to that loop breaker. The input will be the input count. There we go. So that way, if I add another line, so you can see here, the end is set to 5. So if I add another line, string 2s. Now you can see at the end, I don't need to go and update this because it's automatically updating. As I add this, the counter updates to the number of the input. So there you go. That's a little workaround. Anyway, so what's the reason I'm doing this? So I want to make this like a title, so you know it spins. So as it spins, we change the text. You know, we go from one title to the next title. Okay, and it's really simple. So we're going to start with the animation. It's great for beginners. So I'm going to drop our animation node in here. So our content window, and you can name this, you know, whatever you want. To spin, whatever you recognize this as. You know, you can make sure you name your nodes so you know what they do and you understand. For example, I could rename this title. Go. So I want this axis here. And what we want to do is keyframe the Y, as you saw the rotation. Right? So I'm going to go to keyframes, start at 0, set a key. Make sure I go in seconds, so I'm going to work in seconds. As you can see, that's 1 second there. I'm going to go to 2 seconds, set a key, set this to minus 360. Okay, so if I hit play, it just spins. Nothing amazing, but you know, it just spins. What I want to do now to our animation, I'm going to hold shift. So I can bring shift, select these two, so they both appear in the content window. And what I want to do is click on my counter, and I want to keyframe this forward. So the forward button. So we're going to add that to our animation. And make sure on the counter you set this to loop. Okay? See why in a second. So we can loop through the titles every time we've triggered this animation. Anyway, let's go. So it's now choosing what point do you want this to change. So right now you can see I can't when I'm scrubbing I can't really get this bang on 90 degrees from here. If this is, say this is 0 for example, and I'm going 90 degrees, I want to change the timeline to like with the frames. Now I can say, well, I want it to spin maybe once and twice, and when it gets to this point here, I want to hit, change this title. So now when I go play, boom, next line, hello. Then I'll do it again, boom, how are you? And again, repeat it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Anyway, Ventuz. Then you get out here and you saw it loops again. Now, so let's now make this, usable. So like we can click this every time we click the screen, we play through this animation. You don't want to scrub this. So we're gonna click at the start of our keyframe. We're gonna add a new state. We want a soft state, not a state, sorry, it's new soft state. And you only need one, it's S1. Okay, so this is first state here, S1. So we go to this logic where you can see S1. And the reason why is we want S1 to S1. So at the end here, again, I'll reuse this S1. So now, what I can do is go to my state. You can see we're going from 1 to 1. And the animation, next. You can see it resets back to the beginning, so I can now keep on clicking next. Okay, we've got title changing. Yeah, so we've got some nice free text. And every time we click through, we go through our list and it animates through. So it's nothing too complicated, it's really simple. There's a little bit of logic, but not over complicated. And you can expand on this, so you can have like 20, 50, 100, whatever, I don't know. Again, this doesn't need to be a multi-switch. It could be an array. It could be whatever you want. You can play around. I recommend you play around, try different things. This is just one way of doing it. And like I said, there's hundreds of ways of doing it. Anyway, let's add some graphics to this. So we already got the spin animation. So let's just add an axis underneath our title. Actually, let's place it above. We want it above. And let's go to our toolbox, geometry, particle system. Let's drop a particle system in there. Okay. Now it's going to be either really big or really small or somewhere. It's somewhere in the scene. Let's see where it is. If I move this out, let's see. Can I see where it is? Ah, that's my fault. Sorry, don't choose. I just chose particle system. It has no module. So to start with, right-click the particle system and choose source with sprite. Now we'll see something straight away. There we go. I forgot. Sorry. Normally, because the module's not there automatically, unless you select the source with sprite. I chose just the particle system with nothing in there. That's why we didn't see anything. Anyway, so particle system. All we do is just edit this. Click correctly. So I'm just going to change the source here to a mesh, vertex mesh. So it's a sphere. Delta identity, the transform, and I want it to be simple scale. So I can scale this up. We've got this nice sphere, you know. And if we click on the animation, you see it spins with it because it's parented to our main axis here that's spinning. Right? Our title spin, which is great. But this kind of looks boring. If you like this, great. But what I'm going to do is add some noise to this. And place this in front. Like so. And then I'll go to my amplitude, push this up. And I want this on the X. So I want to push these particles translation on the X, on the Z, and translate all. Just push this out. Oh, there we go. Really just play with the values. Now, click on animation. Now we've got some nice, particles in the environment. And you can, of course, change the particle size and all sorts. I won't go into that too much. Go to click on the sprite, change the scale here. Yeah. Now we've got something going on. Now I'm not going to go too much into this. I'll keep it short as it is. I'll leave it here. So let's just add some interaction. If you want to make it work on the visuals and want to make this more fancy, you can. You just have to spend some time. Just put materials on your text, play around with the colors and the particle system, for example. You want some additional movement. Keep on adding stuff into it, and then you can add your post-processing effects. Anyway, what we're going to do is let's do a touch button. And we just place it here. At the front of our tree. So, and I want a volume as well. So I'm going to go to geometry, volume, and place this in. If I turn my bounding box on, you can see that's the volume there. So what I can do is just scale this up so it covers the entire screen. There we go. So now this is every time I click, you can see on a single tap. What I want to do is link this touch button to the animation next. So you're going to take a single tap. Every time you click it, now you can turn your bounding box off. There you go. Hopefully this is useful, like I said. And then on top of that, you can go to your layers. My layers are just here, and you can change the order of your layout windows. Go into effects. Add in your distortion or whatever you want. Glare, so if you want some glare in there. Perhaps you want to put some and change the diameter. Yeah, entirely up to you. There's no rules, you can put more distortion on the one, and I want to use barrel. It's cool. Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, thank you again. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Take it easy. Have a good night. Don't forget, hit the like, share it, and subscribe. Goodbye.